Today on Golf Destination, we visit Spruce Peak in Vermont. We look at which is the toughest 3 holes on tour, the Bear Trap or the Snake Pit. We visit with golf course designer Clive Clark, and we'll take a look at what is regarded as one of Donald Ross's best designs. All of that and more next. Welcome to Golf Destination. I'm Meredith Gorman here in the sociable DJI Communications Studios right outside of Boston. Now, there are many different types of golf, but mountain golf is certainly one of the most beautiful, and Spruce Peak in Stowe, Vermont certainly checks that box.
We like to say that winter made us famous, but truly the experiences you have here in the summer is what makes Stowe unforgettable. A big piece of that here in Stowe is the amazing 36-hole golf experience that we have. My name is Michael Harger. I'm the director of golf here at the Mountain Course, as well as Stowe Country Club down in the Stowe Village. The Mountain Course is absolutely stunning piece of property. It plays up, down, around Spruce Peak. Conversely, we have Stowe Country Club down in town. It's much more of a traditional parkland style golf course, so a little more friendly, a little more open. In the 36 holes, just with the dramatic changes between the mountain elevation and playing golf down in the valley with the huge views, pretty special. The genius of Bob Cupp, the golf course designer here, is that he took an extremely challenging site and truly built something that's accessible and playable for everyone. And it makes it a really enjoyable, approachable experience where regardless of what your ability or age is, you can come out here on the mountain course and have a great time. So number one, I think, like every course, it's important to get off to a good start. First hole here is a par 5, and the design of the tee shot is basically just to get it in play. The way the round really starts is when you walk up to that green and see how dramatic the views are from that first green. Huge cliff on the left, dropping off down to the Stowe Valley down below and beyond the green. When you stop after that first hole and look around, you realize how special of an experience you're in for the next three plus hours, and it's going to be a special day. The fourth hole, it's not the most dramatic views that we have out there, but from a pure golf standpoint, I think it's a really good architecturally designed hole. Fairly open off the tee if you want to play it safe, but if you tug it a little too far left, it's a re-tee situation, so you got to be careful on that one. Play it safe or go for it all. The sixth hole it plays across Peregrine Lake. It's an all or nothing hole. You better have your swing figured out and confident at that point, because if there's any kind of wind or whatever else, it's a pretty small target and there's very few places to bail out. Our ninth hole is a really good finish for the front 9. It's a dramatic shot, force carry over the water, sets you up for a little short dog leg into the green. 14, a little dog leg right of a par 4, uphill tee shot, a little more room left than you might think. And that's really just putting you in a position to hit down to almost a peninsula style green, looking over a steep valley. That 15th tee shot is an elevated fairway, and there's a pretty steep cliff in front, so fairly intimidating on that one. Being able to attack that green from the left side without a bunker in front of you is the key. Just play it safe, hit over that bunker, and get your 2-putt and maybe roll a birdie in there. So the 16th hole, finishing our awesome stretch of high alpine golf holes, is a classic drop shot par 3. It's a lot of fun to watch the ball float up there, and the hopes of that ball miraculously landing in for an ace there is always fun. 18, the big finisher, it's pretty incredible there. So it's a half barrel fairway, so hitting it is important. If you hit it in the right spot, you get a little bit of extra roll down there and give yourself a chance to go for it in 2. And it's a downhill shot, so give it everything you got, try to knock it on the green and walk away with an eagle. The pace is a little slower here. It's a little more casual, it's a little more welcoming, a little more inclusive. And at the same time, the conditions, the culinary experiences is at the highest level, but just in a little more casual and welcoming atmosphere. It really doesn't get any better.
Golf is hard. The PGA Tour is tough. So when a string of 3 holes challenges even the world's best, you have to take notice. The Bear Trap at the Champion Course at PGA National Resort and Spa and home of the Honda Classic is consistently one of the toughest stretches of golf on the PGA Tour. It begins on the par 3 15th with water on the right side of the green and sand on the left. You then tee it up on the par 4 16th, which also has water on the right side and will leave you a long iron shot over water to a large green with plenty of devilish pin placements. The par 3 17th again has water around the green. It's no wonder why the bear statue that greets you at 15T reads, "It should be won or lost here," because it usually is. The Snake Pit at the Copperhead course at Innisbrook, the host site of the Valspar Championship, also boasts a nasty string of holes to finish with. The 16th hole is a long and demanding par 4 called Moccasin. Players use 3-wood for positioning, but that leaves them very long approaches to a firm green. The 17th is a par 3 and is a 200-yard plus par 3 called Rattler that plays over par every year at the tournament. The 18th is a narrow par 4 of over 445 yards that plays to an uphill, smallish, severely sloped back to front green. Mark Cannizzaro, you usually recognize some of the toughest stretches in golf. You cover the PGA Tour. What do you think is tougher, the Snake Pit or the Bear Trap?
I think, and I have played it, both of them. I've been fortunate enough to play them, and I've covered the tournaments for both of them. And I would say that I think the Snake Pit is a little bit more difficult because it just feels a little bit more tight. Both of those stretches, the common denominator is, water comes into play. They're pretty long holes. But I think all in all, if you look at those three hole stretches, I would probably make the Snake Pit a little bit more difficult just in terms of its tightness, of the fairways.
Up next, we meet golf course designer Clive Clark, and we go into our archives from 2005 when he discusses his design at the Lake Winnipesaukee Golf Club.
Golf Destination is brought to you in part by Goslings of Bermuda, Dare to be Happy. Club Benchmarking, your partner on the path to data-driven leadership.
Dare, to smile and laugh out loud, to go to the beach instead of the office, to wear sneakers instead of heels, or heels instead of sneakers, to wear white after Labor Day and sunglasses at night. Dare, to say no or yes. To take a long bath or a short walk, to have dessert for dinner or to grill in the snow. Dare to have fun. And most of all, dare to be happy. Goslings Rep. Happy since 1806.
Family memories trapped on old videotapes? Let Retro Media convert them to digital files or DVDs.
RetroMediaOnline.com. Make it last.
Club Benchmarking Capital Reserve Study arms you with a precise chronological roadmap of capital requirements and associated costs. Our process includes a thorough financial analysis, in-depth staff interviews, and an on-site inspection to evaluate, document, and prioritize your club's capital repair and replacement requirements over a rolling 20-year timeline. Club Benchmarking, your partner on the path to data-driven leadership.
Got family memories on slides or photos? Let Retro Media convert them to digital files.
RetroMediaOnline.com. Make it last.
Golf Destination is brought to you in part by Goslings of Bermuda. Dare to be happy.
Welcome back. I'm Meredith Gorman. Clive Clark is a former Ryder Cup member for Europe and also an acclaimed architect. We spoke to him about his work at Belgrade Lakes Golf Club.
Belgrade Lakes was my first venture into designing a course in America, which was fantastic.
Clive, again, the right guy for the job at the right time. We had designers and architects from all over the country drooling over this piece of property. I mean, and Mr. Alphon knew a bunch of them, and they're pulling out all the stops trying to get in on this. But that's not really what we were trying to accomplish. And we met a roundabout way, a phone call with Clive. And at the time, he was working with Peter Allis and Ernie Els doing courses. He had probably 30 courses around the world.
And they invited me out in the middle of January, which I thought England was a bit nippy in the winter, but I tell you, Maine surpassed it by a long way. I think my layout, they realized, suited the site, one, but two, what I did was draw some draft sketches, and I put a little red dot, so if you stand here on the first hole, here's my impression of what you would see. Here's my perspective sketch of what that will look like when you have a golf course, and I think that intrigued them, and they appointed me to the job.
We talked with him, he did some hand drawings, and the rest is history. He's a very talented guy.
Kyle, if you will, project managed and supervised all the machines and the technical side and brought in the subs. It all worked very well, the two of us, and we both got on very well together. Kyle's a great guy.
Clive wanted 140 bunkers, Harold didn't want any. So we made him work for every bunker.
Early on, we had a layout at the time. We're looking at all these boulders. I mean, there were thousands of them on the site that we had to clear. All these boulders were picked up by big excavators, loaded onto dumper trucks, taken to the edge of the semi-rough, and that really became a major part of the design. It looked beautiful because it creates yet another layer from the pale green fairways, the darker green semi, into the stony coloured boulders, and then up into the pine and the forest. It was really a huge feature. Even when it was opened up, it looked like it had been there for 100 years, which is exactly what you want. They'll experience a golf course, I think, that is very fair, it's very playable. If you're shooting the ball all over the place, yeah, you'll be penalised, but so you should be. But it's not a penal golf course, it's a playable golf course with a lot of individual holes, and I would like to think they all have great personalities, each hole. It's a collection.
Clive has designed only 2 courses in New England, Belgrade Lakes and Lake Winnipesaukee Golf Club. When the Lake Winnipesaukee Golf Club opened in 2004, it was with great excitement and anticipation. In 2005, we interviewed Clive Clark to discuss his design of the downhill par 3 15th.
We're some 50 feet or so above the level of the green, which makes for a very nice backdrop. You get a sense of the depth of trees behind. But the feature probably of this hole, it's not that long a par 3, it's about 160 from where we're standing now on the back tee, but it plays shorter because of the elevation change, so you can take at least 1 club off for the effect of the drop. We've got a number of pin placements here. You can see there's quite a bunker complex on the right hand side, and if we're going to be mean to the players one day, we can stick the pin and edge it over to that side of the green. But the largest feature here is all the rocks. Now, many of them were here when we started, but we had an entry drive which had boulders stacked on the way up, and the entry drive at Lake Winnipesaukee is about 1 mile long. So they were actually brought 1.5 miles to this area here. But generally, this is a hole that will appeal to golfers, I feel, because you've got these highly elevated tees. There's a big range of different distances that we're playing them from, and other than the sand, there's no specific hazard out there that would make the golfer feel intimidated. And I think that's a good thing. I don't think as a designer I would like to get the name of one who intimidated the club golfer, because the club golfer, after all, is about 98% of your business. So you really don't want to offend the club golfer. You want to give them a nice, happy day, make them feel they've met some challenge, but come in. And if people said to me, Clive, I've just played your golf course and I really enjoyed it, or I had a lot of fun out there, that would be a very nice compliment.
Up next, we look at a Donald Ross gem that is only 9 holes.
Dare to smile and laugh out loud, to go to the beach instead of the office, to wear sneakers instead of heels, or heels instead of sneakers, to wear white after Labor Day and sunglasses at night. Dare to say no or yes, to take a long bath or a short walk, to have dessert for dinner or to grill in the snow. Dare to have fun. And most of all, dare to be happy. Galsing's Rep. Happy since 1806.
The sociable approach to marketing attracts individuals to your product by creating quality content that they enjoy and will convert them into lifelong customers. How do we do it? By developing unique programs, postings, video series, and content delivery across all your social media platforms. We develop engaging and unique content that will get your message out and increase your likes, follows, and shares. We're ready. Let's start trending sociably.
Club Benchmarking Capital Reserve Study arms you with a precise chronological roadmap of capital requirements and associated costs. Our process includes a thorough financial analysis, in-depth staff interviews, and an on-site inspection to evaluate, document, and prioritize your club's capital repair and replacement requirements over a rolling 20-year timeline. Club Benchmarking, your partner on the path to data-driven leadership.
Hi, I'm Meredith Gorman from Golf Destination. Since 1995, Golf Destination has showcased the best places to play, helpful golf tips from world-class instructors, and players and the people who make golf their living at this great game. View unique content on our social media at Golf Destination or online at our hub, golfdestination.tv. Golf Destination is presented by Goslings of Bermuda. Dare to be happy.
Club Benchmarking, your partner on the path to data-driven leadership.
Welcome back to Golf Destination. I'm Meredith Gorman here at the sociable DGI Communications Studios. Whitinsville is just over the Rhode Island line and is home to one of the top 9-hole courses in the world. Nestled in the Blackstone Valley, it is a true hidden gem. Like most 9-hole routings, a variety of tees can alter the course so it plays as an 18-hole layout. Whitinsville Golf Club can be stretched as an 18-hole layout to over 6,400 yards with a course rating of 71.2 and a slope rating of 139. The course was designed by Ross in 1923, and the layout looks the same today as it did when it first opened. In 2009, Gil Hance designed a master restoration plan aimed at recapturing many of the characteristics of Ross' original design. The club is nearly complete with the project, and the results are stunning. The course retains many of the typical Ross qualities: smallish, mounded greens with devilish sloping, run-up areas to the front of most greens, challenging par 3s, and it is very penal to those who go long in their approach. In classic Ross style, he lets you warm up with the only par 5 on the course, which is a 578-yard walk that ends with a very undulated raised green that is treacherous. The second is a classic Ross par 3 of 185 yards to a well-protected green. Out of bounds down the right side in the tee box encourages you to bail out left on the par 4 third, but those who can hit it down the right side will be rewarded. The par 4 fourth is at the highest elevation of the property. Looking to cut off the dogleg will need to hit it over the chocolate drops on the left side. The fifth has a blind shot with a cross bunker in the fairway, so don't push it left. Ross's optical illusions are in full effect here. This hole features the largest green on the course. Stay to the right side of the fairway on 6 and just don't hit it into the strategically placed mounds. The approach is over a hidden burn to a protected green. The seventh is another par 3 over 180 yards. Don't be short or your ball will roll 25 yards down to the fairway, leaving a difficult pitch. A right to the left ball flight off the tee on the par 4 8th could help you get a late round birdie. Then you step onto the 9th tee, which is a hole that Donald Ross said was one of his favorite holes he ever designed. Golf Magazine listed it as one of the top 100 holes in the country. You must carry a hazard on your tee ball. Bunkers flank both sides of the green, and it also offers a false front to the green. Crenshaw was correct when he called this course a hidden gem, one of the top 9-hole courses in the world. Up next, we'll get a great teaching tip when Golf Destination, presented by Goslings of Bermuda, continues.
Golf Destination is brought to you in part by Goslings of Bermuda. Dare to be happy.
Visit our website, golfdestination.tv. It's our hub for all of our social media platforms and scheduled airings. And also don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel because you never know what you may find. Welcome back to the Sociable DGI Studios just outside of Boston. I'm Meredith Gorman. Let's get a teaching tip now from Sean Hester.
I think a good teaching professional has an innate sense of people and their personalities and their styles. And a good teaching professional is able to adapt to different personalities and different styles. What I'm really trying to do with my student is understand what they're thinking of, what they're trying to do in the golf swing, and I'm trying to impact that. So I'm making sure they're thinking thoughts that are going to be constructive in their development. I think the key in the developmental process initially is to understand where the student's coming from. Is that student trying to play competitive golf? Is that student trying to pick up the game and learn for the first time? What is that student's idea? What made them sign up for the lesson today? Once I understand that and I understand a little bit of what their roadmap is on where they want to go, I'm going to design a program to fit them individually. My teaching method is very individualized. The first thing I'm trying to do with higher handicap players is make them aware of what they are currently doing. I'm not necessarily trying to change their golf swing or change anything that they're doing. I just want to make them aware first of what they actually are doing, and then we take it from there. There's a lot of information in these technologies that are out there today, and frankly, I think it's too much for the average golfer, and they're very confused about what to do and how to go about doing it. And my job is to simplify that and only give them the technology that's going to apply to them, that they can understand and really use to help them shoot lower scores.
Good, just go like that.
Teaching is different from high handicappers to tour players in the sense that high handicappers have a very low awareness of what is happening. So I often ask players, where did the ball hit the face? 1, 2, or 3, meaning inside, the middle of the face, or on the toe. And higher handicap players initially have no idea sometimes where the ball's hitting the face. So with a tour player, an accomplished player, they know exactly where the ball's hitting on the face, and the tour player has a very high level of awareness of where the club is, where the body is, and they can tell you a lot more. With a higher handicap player, you're really trying to educate them and make them more aware of what's actually happening. For too many players, green reading is a complete mystery. Today I'm going to show you how you can see better and see the line and slope and play better break on your putts. You first have to understand that getting in a linear relationship behind the ball is the worst perspective to read break. Here I am straight behind my ball, reading this putt. And from here, I get no appreciation at all for how severe that slope is. If I come down a little bit to the low side, and I get on what I like to call the swing line, which is an extension of the curve, I really can see the slope from that perspective. If you can read greens, that's going to allow you to have better speed, and your long putts are going to get much closer to the hole. Do this and you're going to save some strokes.
Thank you for joining us today on Golf Destination, presented by Goslings of Bermuda. Visit our website, golfdestination.tv. It's our hub for all of our social media platforms and scheduled airings, and of course, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. You never know what you may find on there. I'm Meredith Gorman here for Golf Destination. We hope you enjoyed the show, and we'll see you next time.
Golf Destination is brought to you in part by Goslings of Bermuda. Dare to be happy. Club Benchmarking. Your partner on the path to data-driven leadership.